of somebody that you're having difficulty with. I'm going to give you a moment to do this. Think of someone, and not yourself. Yourself, that's a whole other minefield. It's probably a weekend workshop, at least just for step one. Think of somebody else. You are your hardest subject always that you're having difficulty with. And now, I just want you, I know it's hard, we're so used to intellectualizing. I want you to just open your senses. What do I mean by open your senses? Often it really requires a methodical body check. Often the first step to becoming a more accurate intuitive and healing, not allowing toxins in, is simply, what am I tasting? What am I feeling? What am I seeing? What am I hearing? What am I smelling? And the sixth sense, which is memory and intellect. What am I remembering? What am I thinking? And just noticing how all of that changes without having to make a ticker tape out of it, but simply being able to move in those senses, in yourself, in this moment. So when you can do that with yourself, you can do it more easily with somebody else. So does anyone not have a person that they're having difficulty with? Because I can lend you a few. Don't have any shortage. Okay. So now, I want you to experience that person in front of you. Some of you, we all use all of our senses. Some of you see yourself seeing, but you're also feeling, smelling, tasting, etc., etc. Some of you hear, some of you just know. But I want you to experience that person in front of you using whatever senses you want. I see eye closing and I see deep breathing. That is not, you can do whatever you want. You paid for this workshop, but that is not effective. It's effective to do the exercise. It's not going to be effective for you in your life, because you're going to need to do this when you're in the middle of an argument and you realize, ooh, my position isn't that strong. I think I want to make nice here, but I can't back down. What can I send? And that's not gonna, you don't want to do that. I always say, who's more intuitive? A Zen monk or an ER nurse? Right? Who? Right. Swap fly, don't swap fly needs no intuition. So experience the person in front of you. I'm going to go over each step. Pick someone you're having some difficulty with. Who you want to resolve with. Otherwise, it's the voodoo segment of this workshop. Experience them in front of you, or just know that they're in front of you. And now, your target is, what can I give this person that gives them pleasure in this moment? That gives them solace, that gives them healing, that gives them openness, whatever it is you want to elicit. And then ask yourself, is that something I'm willing to give them energetically? Is that an experience I'm willing to send them? What is it in you that they find compelling, that they find attractive, that they find desirable? So whatever your goal is, do you want to heal? Do you want to give them solace? Do you want to find agreement? Do you want to give them some confidence? Do you want to let them feel your connection even though you're having difficulty? What is your goal? And what do they need right now that you can give them that would give them pleasure, healing, solace, connection? Just notice what it is, and it may be something, it may be a bunch of things that don't make sense to you. You may get an image or a memory. Memories are wonderful kind of energy gestalts, an all-in-one that you can send. Now, what part of yourself, what memory, what experience, what feeling, even if it doesn't have to do with them, what can you embody that they would respond to, that represents that pleasure point for them? What can you embody? And it needs to be true for you. You cannot effectively send a lie. You can send a reframing, but you cannot effectively send a lie. And now, allow the experience of connecting that embodiment of that part of you, that genuine part of you, with the other person. And notice, how do you connect? What happens with the other person when you do that? And by the way, the first try doesn't always work. Sometimes what happens is nothing. Sometimes what happens is they just shut down. Sometimes what happens isn't what you expect. If everything you do intuitively is something you expect, it's probably not intuitive.